record this. All right, for those of you who are joining part 2 of our referral revolution, today we're going to dive in a little bit deeper into the 50-25-1. I'm going to show you how I do the 50-25-1, let you watch that. And then I'm going to show you how to do friends lists. Okay, is there anything else? I'll show you a few hacks in Facebook along the way. Anything else in particular you'd like to get out of this time together? Nothing? You guys are all just ready to do whatever I want to do? I like it. All right, guys, let's make this hour useful. I need your input and participation, okay? All right. So let's go into Facebook. I want to just give you, like, if I was doing my 50-25-1, here's what that looks like. So my version, because I'm a real estate coach, I'm not going out for real estate business, real estate sales anymore. If I was, I'd be doing what you were doing. But my version of what you're doing is I'm talking to real estate agents, right? I'm getting in relationship with real estate agents for the purpose of coaching. So I would go to my friends list, and my list that I do on mine is called Realtors Plus Plus Plus. This is also loan officers and people in the business in general. This is a pretty broad list. I do have a list that's just realtors, and maybe for a 50-25-1, I would do just that. But let's just use this list. So now that I've pulled this custom list up, you can see that I am just receiving just the realtors or related people's feeds, nothing else, right? So Tammy, I just do the heart. Now, I'm going to put a timer on that's 30 to 35 minutes, and I'm going to bang through my 50 and my 20. I'm going to bang through the emojis, and I'm going to bang through the comments, and I'm just going to go. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to get all caught up in the details. I'm going to give myself 30, 35 minutes, maybe 40 in the beginning, and I'm going to go through. And I'm heart. I almost always heart. If you're going to do something, a heart is better than a like. It has a little bit more emotion attached to it. Now, if you're going to do one of these 4, that's fine. But between these two, personally, I'm just always going to hit the love. It just is a little bit more energy, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to hit like on this. Does anybody have a garage space or land they don't use in Berrien County? Now, if this was in my area and this person was an A to me, this is what we call, remember in our webinar, we called this like, what was the language I used? It's like a request answered, I think is what I call it, request answered. So I might give this a little bit of time and help, and I might start by asking a question. Maybe I'll go offline with it in a messenger, and I would say, hey, Kathy, I want to try to help you out. Tell me more about what you're looking for, right? Because questions are powerful, and I want us as agents to be asking much more questions. We have to stop defaulting to answers. Every time a client asks you a question, I want you to ask a question back. Ask a clarifying question back. All right? So I might do that. Now, this is not in my town. This person is not an A. They're more of a B to me, maybe a C. So I'm not going to spend a lot of energy on that. Although if I knew the answer, I would stop and help if I thought I could help, because maybe it would be helping the other person on the other end as well. All right, so I'm going to heart that. Lexi, okay, so I know Lexi very well. This is a big announcement for EXP, 20,000 agents. That's awesome. So I might say, I might stop here and I might write a comment here, because I also know this is really important to her. And I might do that. All right. Now, trick. Once I do that, have you ever hated that then you get notices for everybody else that answers that over time? I go up here to this 3 little bars, 3 little buttons right here, and click that. And then I want you to hit turn off notifications for this post. That way, you will never have to see all of the rest of the comments on that post. Did you guys know about that trick?
No, and thank you so much.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, thank you, thank you.
There's always one person that's like, that was worth the price of this hour, even though it cost you nothing. Yeah, guys, that is a must do, because you do not need your little notification bar clogged with a post that you want to comment on. And it's why we hesitate to comment, right? We're like, oh God, I don't want to hear about this the rest of the day. So hello to everybody that just joined us. I'm going through some tips and tricks on Facebook. I'm going to show you how to get into a friends list, but I'm just showing you what it looks like to do your 50-25-1 inside of a list, okay? And so I know Father's Day is over. Shout out to Brian. That's her husband, I guess. So I might just write, so sweet. Like, that's a nice post, right? So when I'm done with that, I don't want to hear any more about it. I'm going to go up here and turn off notifications for that post. So Kim, if you had to create a custom doormat specifically for the front porch, what would it say so that everyone knew what you were talking about? I would do this, and then Kim's an A in my world, so I would definitely write something. I'm going to come back to this just because I want to think about what the answer is, because it's kind of a great question. So I would take a second and I would respond right there. This organization nerd is in heaven, getting closet organizer for my house. Oh my gosh,
Hey, Monica.
Yeah.
So back to that doormat thing, like, is there a way to save that, or like?
Oh, perfect timing for that. Yes, good. Okay, excellent. So right here, same 3 buttons, save post. When you do it, you can add it to a sub collection. So add to collection. So I have gift ideas, Facebook posting ideas. I have a monthly coaching program that's called Win the Day, where we do these kind of things on a daily basis. So if I have something I want to post to my Win the Day group, I do that. If I find a picture that I want to do a send out card to, I'll put it in here, books to read, that kind of thing, recipes that I want. So maybe for this, I might create a collection, and I might say 50-25-1 save, meaning I want to come back to it or something like that, right? So then that is now saved under that little subcategory for me. Great opportunity to talk about saving. You guys used the save button before?
No.
Now you know, right? It's awesome.
Yes, for cool things that I never come back to. So I got to use it more often.
It's true, but if you're in this now that you're going to be in a more purposeful approach with Facebook,
yeah, absolutely.
You're wanting to send a card, or you're wanting to have a conversation, maybe you'll do that. There's a mini zucchini here. That's really cute. So I might a comment can just be like, love it. Oops, what's that? Where did I get up there? That's not where I wanted to be. Right? And then I go back up here and I hit turn off. So I'm looking for, so she's an ally. I like that. So I'm going to go to here and just do that. Right? That's a comment. She sees that I see her, and then I'm acknowledging what she's saying, and that's great. Here's a cool listing, but it's in Lexington, which is not where I am. They finally called a professional fix the ice cream machine at McDonald's. Oh my gosh, that is funny. So I'll do a laugh there, and I'll write, because just to do the laugh, it's acknowledging it, but when I can spell, when I write a comment, as you know, you're going to see that. You're going to see me. She's going to see that I showed up for her differently. So that's how you go through and do your efficient 50-20. Now, all along the way, if I saw something that I wanted to comment on, let's say, I don't know. Let's say this was a post and this gal had just lost her pet. I'm going to write down on a piece of paper, Pam Cain Stacks, and that's going to be one of my conversations. And I'm just going to write 5 of those out as I go through my 50-20, and I'm going to come back. I'm going to go to Pam's page, and I'm going to see, like, why did I write her name down? Oh, yeah, her cat passed. Now, that's not what this is, but you get my point. So then I would go to her message, and I would type, oh, I saw your sweet baby. I'm so sorry. You know, how old was she or whatever. Just start a conversation, right? Or if Pam was somebody I knew at a higher level, I would pick up the phone and call because that's hard, right? Or if there's a celebration or if there's just something unique and interesting posted, write down their name and come back to it for your 5 conversations or your 6 conversations. The one meaningful conversation usually bubbles up out of those, right? It usually bubbles up out of those. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do friends list, but any questions on sort of maneuvering through that 50-25-1 every single day? And can you see how that can really strengthen and increase and heighten the relationships between you and whoever? Yes? Have you started doing a little bit of that?
Started doing a little bit of it, but those tips really help to zip through it and not overthink it.
Okay, good, perfect. Oh, and why I see Wise. You're Matt. It's Matt Moats. I see. Thanks, Matt. Now I know you're there. Yeah, the timer is key, Kyle. Thank you for that. The timer is key because you know as well as I do, we can get sucked into the black hole of Facebook. But today and from here on forward, this is a business tool for you. And you're going to put some purposeful time each day around connecting with those that are most important to you. Okay? So how do we get started with, let's just talk about just your A's. Let's just talk about the 36, 40 people that, you know, are most important to you. Let me shut this down.
Hey, Monica, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Is there a time of day that is better? Is it really up to us what is working in our schedule, or do you find that, because a lot of times if you start early in the morning, nobody's posted yet, or it's yesterday's feed, like.
Yeah, but yesterday's feed doesn't matter. You know, if you did it this morning early, then you have a full 24 hours by tomorrow to get caught up on everybody. Right? And that doesn't matter. Just because you're going to go to your friends list, you're going to see stuff they posted yesterday. That's going to be normal. So I think once you get started, as long as you do it consistently, it doesn't matter what time of the day. The reason I like the morning is because what you'll find yourself doing is you'll find yourself doing it at 10 and 11 o'clock at night because your day got away from you, or 9 o'clock at night when you're on the couch, and you can't spark conversations at 10 o'clock at night. It's not appropriate to do that. Most of us, like me, grandma is in bed at 9:30, right? So I think the morning gives you an opportunity to write your 5 names down and then go about your day and call them on the phone. If you want to do that, just take the Post-it note in the car with you, and in between appointments, call those people and make a little note. Maybe it's, you know, maybe you make the little note that like cat died, or, you know, won their tennis tournament, or whatever it is, and make your calls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
That's why I like the morning. But whenever you have the most energy is when you should do it. Whenever you have the most energy. So a couple different ways to do the friends list. I'm going to show you both ways. So if you click over here under Explore, yours might not be the first thing under Explore. You might have to hit See More, and it might be down in here somewhere. But under Explore is Friends List, okay? When you click on that, if you've never done anything like this, you will see a couple default lists that Facebook puts together for you. And you cannot delete those. They can't go anywhere, all right? So if you wanted to, from here, you hit Create List. And so you might put my A's, right? Or my B's, or whatever. You can create as many as you want. Then you can do past clients. My recommendation, as I did touch you in the webinar, is to start with realtors, non-realtors. Like, that is a great way to divide up your list. Then the non-realtors get a second tag. It might be an A, a B, a C, and they could even get a third tag like past client or something like that, or vendor, or whatever. Because vendors are non-realtors. They can send you business. It won't always be vendors, maybe. They can also be clients, all right? So once you create that list, so for instance, my realtors only, over time, I've got 1,980. Now that is obviously not what we're talking about, A's, B's, and C's. So I would just suggest realtor, non-realtor. You'll have as many as you can in the non-realtor, and then you subdivide them out. All right. So if you had created a list and you wanted to say sample, I'm just saying sample because I have an A's list, sample A's, you can add people in here right now. So you can write people, you can type people in and make this list. I think it's hard to think of people unless you're super clear on who your A's are. So that's why I give you this second option. You're going to go to your page, not the home page, but your page, and you're going to click on your friends. And once your friends pop up, you will be able to hover over this box here. See this box that says friends? Hover over that, and if you look, add to a list. So when you click it, all your list options are there, or you can add a new one. If that person makes you think of a new list, add it right there on the spot. You don't have to go back to where I was showing you before. So you can see Hank he's a coach. He's one of my A's. He's a realtor, and he's also in the Realtor Plus, and he's in this other thing that I don't do anymore called my Top 36 because now they're called A's, okay? Allison, same thing, add to a list. And she's a realtor, she's a coach, whatever. So you can just start doing 20, 25 a day. Just remember where you left off. Generally speaking, this list will likely stay just about the same. I think it has to do with how you're interacting with people. In some people's situation, it was alphabetized. But you can go through and just add to list everybody, and then just write down on a little scratch pad where you stopped and come back the next day and do 20. So I recommend you go through and find your A's and B's. Now, guys, this is going to be a process, and it's very fluid. Today's A's are not tomorrow's A's, and today's B's are not tomorrow's B's, and it's okay. So there's no right or wrong way to do it. Please don't get stuck in the, gosh, I don't know what that person is. I don't know where to put them. I can't do this. The A's and B's are your relationships. Your A's are like your best relationships where you can pour into them and they have the ability to give you a referral. Again, this is just for the idea of your business. This isn't necessarily all around your personal life. Now, I'll give you an example of somebody that was stuck on doing their A's. And she said, I can't do my A's because some of the people that should be A's haven't given me a referral yet. That is not what this is about. I want you to imagine this is your vision board for your A's and your B's. That's a little mindset shift. This is the vision board. Who are your perfect 36, 40, 50 A's, where you like them a lot, you like who they are, you enjoy spending time with them, you can help them, whether it be in their business or in their life. They can help you because they don't have somebody that's close to them that's a real estate agent. They will give you referrals. It's a nice, healthy relationship. And even if it's not where you want it to be, you put them on an A and you begin to treat them like an A. That's how the relationship rises. If I want to be in relationship to somebody, I need to start pouring into them without expectation for me. That's important, guys, without expectation. You just start showing up for them. 50-25-1, opportunities to do moments of kindness or thought of you, or all the things we talked about in the webinar, right?
Question, Monica.
Yeah, show.
I have a lot today.
I love it. Thank you for participating.
You're welcome. So if you're dividing your list into realtors, non-realtors, are you doing A's for realtors and A's for non-realtors? Or
it depends on if your company incentivizes you by, growing, sponsoring people. So
I'm with EXP, so.
Well, then yes. Yes, EXP, KW, some other companies do that as well, where you get a benefit if you sponsor somebody to join. I would also, since you're doing it, I would also do A's and B's, or what you could call for EXP, you could just say EXP target, like somebody you would love to be in business with.
Okay.
Right? Target A, target B. Because if that's something else you're doing along the side, and not all of you guys are going to do that, that's fine. But if you're at KW or EXP, you may be being purposeful about being in relationship with people you'd like to have on board and be in business with.
So just trying to get clarity on, because I do tend to overthink things. So that I already know about myself. Okay. And a person in my life is my mother. She's in Indianapolis. So is that your non-realtor A, or like she's my biggest fan? She can refer people. She talks about it all the time, but how is that helping my business here in Ohio?
Does she know people in Ohio?
Me.
Okay, then yes. So great question. And I'll answer it with this story, and then I think you'll see your answer. My mom is also probably my best friend. She thinks I'm the best real estate agent that has ever walked the planet Earth. But my mom has never once in 16 years sent me a piece of business. She doesn't interject herself in other people's business. Does that make sense? Like, she's not going to be the person that, would say, oh, you got to call my daughter. Like, she just wouldn't. It's not her personality. So she's not on my A's. She is an A in my life. If she needed me right now, I would turn off this video and I would see you guys later, right? Like, she's that important. But for the purpose of what we're talking about here with the 50-25-1, she's not going to occupy an A space. Does that help?
Yes, because we're focusing on business.
We're focusing on business. It's not to say that you don't have other A's, and some of your A relationships in real life will be on your A's. Like, some of my best friends are also my best referring partnerships. I also need to make sure, can I help them? Am I supportive of what they're doing in life? Can I give back? Because we got to give, and give some more first. So we want to make sure we can contribute. And that doesn't have to be financially or even in business referrals. It could be in support or acknowledgement or recognition. It's just that we're going to show up for these people. Make sense?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. Other questions? Got to be questions. No. Well, this is going to be an easy hour then, because if there's no questions, I want to make sure you guys are good with the lists. I want to make sure you guys understand the power of the 50-25-1. And one thing that I really want you guys to get is that Facebook's going to love the way you're showing up here. From an algorithm standpoint, you are going to be a high-level participant in the community of Facebook if you're doing 50-25-1 every day. And at the same time posting, and I know we're going to talk about that today too, because you got to be doing both of those things together. When you get really good at this, instead of your 50 every day, you can, when you're at goal, you can post something. If you get 50 likes or 50 comments, that can work back towards counting towards your 50-20, but not in the beginning. We need to be giving 50-25-1 all the time. I've been doing this so long now. I can do a post like this weekend. I did a post about, I came across the movie Bridesmaids. Anytime Bridesmaids is on, I'm like, it's stopping there and I'm going to sit and watch it. It's just what I did. So I posted that, and then I asked, what's your movie like this? I think I got 75 comments plus. That's my 50-25-1 for that day. If I'm at goal. If I'm not, I need to be coming from contribution. I need to like their stuff. It doesn't count if all I'm doing is getting liked. But I did get to interact with them. And especially then, I went through every one of those comments and I commented on their comment. Oh my gosh, I also love that movie. Or, oh my gosh, I forgot about that movie. Or, oh, good one. So Facebook is seeing this interaction, loves that, and will then begin to put my posts at a premium and in front of more eyes, which is ultimately what we need. We need to be seen more. You guys are not being seen enough. I promise you. You're not being seen near as much as you think you are, and you're certainly not being seen enough to guarantee referrals out of your business. And by seen, I mean obviously liking their stuff, but also posting your own creative content, whether it be real estate related or personal. Okay. So how many times do you guys post a week about real estate? Cinda?
It used to be 0, but I am trying really hard to at least do like once a week and kind of ease into it so I don't just start blasting real estate stuff where everybody's like, whoa.
Okay.
So like once a week, I've been kind of just adding it in a little bit.
Okay, awesome. And you're doing that because your main fear is you don't want to be seen as an overbearing real estate agent that's just always bothering them for business?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Anyone else feel that way? You're not alone. Yeah, Kyle feels that way. Probably some other folks that, Shanna, I can't see you, babe, but I know you're there. It's good to see you. Probably some other folks that don't have their video on or raising their hand like, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
All right. Do you know, you guys know Gary Vee? I think I mentioned this in our last Monday. Gary Vee, do you know what he says, how many times? Do you guys remember how many times he says to post on each platform every single day? How many times to post?
Was it like 10? I think it was 10.
7 to 21 times a day per each platform. And so, Cinda, you're doing once a week, right? We've got the two spectrums. Like maybe that feels like a lot, 7 to 21 times a day. And then once a week, that also feels like the opposite end of the spectrum at the bottom of that, as far as it's not even registering. You guys, 18% of your people are seeing what you post. Very small amount, very small amount. And that's why we have to post more consistently and more often to be felt and seen. And then when we're doing the 50-25-1 on the back end, then that's pushing that. And so now we're getting, 25 or 30% of our people. I would say it's probably even lower than 18%. I have friends, even as busy as I am on Facebook, and they're like, they either say, I see you all the time, or like, no, I never see your stuff. Like Facebook is controlling it, and we need to forge through and sort of hack that. And we do that by how many times we post. So I'm going to recommend, guys, that you should be posting every single day something about real estate. The reason that feels icky is because you're probably thinking, oh, I'm asking for business in some way, or I'm trying to get something. I want you to think about only about giving information. You're going to give information. You're going to educate people. You're going to demonstrate what you do. So remember the READY, it was called. Remind, educate, demonstrate, inform. Remind, educate, demonstrate, inform.
Monica, I have a question in regards to Gary's comment, 7 to 21 times a day. So I try to post on all platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, that. I've tried to vary what I post on those. Would you recommend just posting the same thing? Because I always thought, well, why would someone follow me on Facebook? If they're following me on Instagram, they're going to see the same thing twice.
Sure. I think there's a 1.0 answer to that question. There's a 2.0 answer to that question. And the 1.0 is if we're not doing it, yes, just do it the same across the mic. For some reason, your microphone, there you go. Do it the same. That's your 1.0 answer. Better to be seen and be reminded, oh yeah, Allie, she's an agent. Oh yeah, Allie, she's an agent. Oh yeah. Well, everywhere I go is Allie. She's obviously the go-to gal for real estate. That's what we're trying to create there. The 2.0 answer is when you get a more sophisticated, who is your audience on Instagram? Is more female-based? Who is your audience on Facebook? Maybe you're trying to customize those. But at the risk of not doing that, I would say just do it across all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think the danger is if we try to get too sophisticated, then we don't do it. So now we're not doing it. And doing something is better than doing nothing. Okay, so I want to show you a little gift I have here for you. Okay, let me open this up. Sorry, hold on one second. Facebook. I have a Facebook posting idea page for you. How would you like that? And it is, where is it? Well, please hold. Please hold. What are some other questions while I'm pulling this up? Allie, that was a great question.
I have a question. So right now I'm kind of going through like a rebuilding phase. I was doing well, and then I just kind of fell on my face for, that could be like a 3-hour discussion. But anyways, so for somebody who's just kind of getting back into it and maybe doesn't have like all the exciting closing posts or out showing houses today, I thought I would just start previewing houses, going out to like new build communities, and maybe like little, like, I don't know, local businesses. But I can't really think of anything else to do to fly my flag if I don't have like a ton of business going on right now.
I love it. Perfect question for right here. Can you guys all see this? Facebook posting ideas. So I'm going to throw a few of these out, and I am sure that from this discussion, you'll even think of more. This is certainly not all inclusive, but I want you to think of a couple different categories. First of all, there's the documentary style, meaning I want you to think of yourselves like you're doing a documentary, you've got a film crew following you around, everything you do. What is one interesting thing or different thing or thing you do every day, it doesn't really matter, that might translate well into a post? It might be the highlight of that video reel or whatever it is. So for instance, business tools you use. What are you doing today? If you do have a closing, great. If you are at a listing, whether it's yours or others, like you said, you're going to preview houses. Buyers you're working with. No harm in saying, hey guys, I'm showing houses today to a new young married couple. They're starting their lives together and they're looking for a home in the Anderson Township area in the 200 to 300 range. If you know anybody that's not got their house on the market already, I might be able to save them some money. Let me know. Like you can put people together. Maybe you're doing a CMA and you've got your desk is completely covered in paperwork and you're like, you've got all your MLS sheets and you're doing your pricing analysis or whatever, and you just step back and you take a picture of that. You say, this is what it looks like when you get, you're doing a complimentary marketing analysis for a client. Or this is what it looks like when you're getting ready to list a house or whatever that is. Your schedule today, tips for sellers, tips for buyers, coming soons that you hear about, open houses. So think documentary style there. Then this next category is like informative, where you're going to be giving information, giving knowledge, showing your knowledge and your expertise and your education in the field of real estate. So staging tips, maybe, and I would keep it to, this could be a live video. Hey guys, out showing houses today. Boy, is there a real difference when you see a house that's nicely staged versus a house that hasn't even been given a second thought from a staging standpoint. One of the most important things about staging is decluttering. So you don't always have to spend money. Hey, if you'd like to talk about what that looks like for your house, give me a call, right? I mean, it could be something just like that. Or you go find a funny staging post or whatever, a meme of some sort. Home inspections, information about that, articles about real estate. You can do a video or you can post the article. Hey, great read if you're thinking about, buying a house. Here's what mortgage rates are predicted to do. Questions that you get asked by clients. I love this one for a live video. So I love this idea. And guys, we're going to talk about video and the power of video and how you're leaving relationships and money on the table if you're not doing video. So I love the one that you just grab it and you're like, hey guys, Monica, you're from the real estate agent here. Just got a question asked by a client. I thought it was a great question, so I thought I'd answer it here. The question was blah, blah, blah. Here's the answer, blah, blah, blah. Hope that helps somebody out there. Have a great day. If you need anything, let me know. Whether the client asks you a question or not, you can make up a question. It doesn't matter. But that's you showing up and showing people what you know and what you do. That's your job. Your job is not necessarily to facilitate a transaction. It's one part of your job, but your real job is to inform people about the things you know and see. We have access to a lot of cool stuff, don't we? One of my favorite posts is where you go in, like you guys go into your MLS and do a search for condos in all areas of your MLS, condos over some luxury price point. So in Cincinnati, our luxury price point is considered like $400 or $500 and up. Whatever that is in yours, do luxury condos and see how many. So there are 276 condos over $500,000 in Cincinnati. Interesting fact, there are 276 condos, and like, give them your data, give them your information, show them that you are in the know, even if it doesn't resonate with them. What you're getting there is, wow, Monica always has her finger on the pulse of what's going on in real estate. You could pick one MLS search every week and do random stat Monday. Did you know there are 1,000 houses under $100,000 in our MLS? It could be whatever. I'd steer away from that because you might get some of that business and may not want that business. Or you could say, two like dueling neighborhoods that maybe have their high schools are always, battling for state finals and whatever. And like, did you know in Marymount right now, there are 150 houses on the market, and Madeira, there are 170. Madeira wins again, or you know what I'm saying? Like, just use what you have access to just create interesting posts. All right, let's continue on with this little guy here. Market stats, questions, target specific types of clients. Oh, great to say, hey, does anybody know somebody looking to sell their house that's a ranch? Do you know anybody that has a ranch home that's looking to sell their house? We have clients that might be interested. I mean, obviously, if you do have clients, that's a kind of where you can go out and kind of dig up a listing that might not be on the market yet. Did you know, share a unique listing? Call the agent, obviously, say, hey, I'd like to do a little promotion of your listing on my Facebook. You cool with that? Maybe just message them. Tips for moving is always a great one. Infographics, Mythbusters, DIY, why rent. Then there's the humor. Humor is a big connector. Most people appreciate a good laugh. And if it's in the category of real estate, and you're doing a nice job outside of that with real estate data, people will like that. They will latch on. They will remember. Memory occurs because of emotions, guys. I'd like to make this point real quick. Memory occurs because of emotion. Think about some of the biggest events in your life, whether they be happy or sad. You probably had extreme emotions around that, like the happiest you've ever been, or when something happened and you just remember it vividly. It's because there was likely a lot of emotion around that. Emotion triggers memory. So we need to create that by telling stories, by making people laugh, by being in front of people all the time. Like, we're creating a connection. Really important as we're doing our Facebook posts. So there are two great sites to go to. One's a Facebook page. It's called Really Bad MLS Photos. And if you don't belong to it, you should. It's really funny. And then the lighter side of real estate is a website. I think they also have a Facebook page, but I usually go to their website. Good stuff in there. And don't be afraid to, if you see some other agent posting it, you can copy and don't share, copy and paste and steal it. They likely stole it from somebody. Like, that just goes on. I always say I'll apologize if I do something wrong, right? I'm not going to wait for permission. So strange things you see, things that happen, funny memes, posts where you say answer with a GIF or a GIF. I don't know how you say it. Things that get interaction. But here's something important. Since you're posting every single day, I don't want you attached to the results. I don't want you saying that was a good post or a bad post, or gosh, nobody liked that post sucked. That is not how we measure success when we're talking about social media and getting your brand out there. We measure by the fact that you did it for 5 days in a row. That's where the power. Some of yours are going to hit and some of yours are going to miss, and I can never seem to predict, right? It doesn't matter. If they scroll right by it and don't give you an emoji, it doesn't matter. They saw it. Oh, there's Cinda, always doing something with real estate. Now, as long as you're doing your 50-25-1, they're not going to think you're annoying, Cinda. They're going to be like, oh, I love Cinda. She always likes and comments on my stuff. There she is, being a real estate agent. Like, those two things go together. You get it? Make sense? Other Facebook posting ideas, neighborhood, and Cindy, you mentioned a little bit around this, like maybe new businesses or inventory that's up or developments coming in or feature a business owner. You could do a nice little video with them. You know, hey, it's Monica. I'm here with Jim Smith, owner of such and such a deli. If you live in the Marymount area, you need to come taste his egg salad sandwich. It's amazing. Jim, tell me about how long you've been in business. Jim will say a little. See, I mean, you know, I was out showing houses, stopped at this deli. I want to introduce you to the owner. Don't have to do a video. You can just do it. Take a picture or your selfie with you with the sign in the back, whatever you're comfortable with. Ask questions, special events coming up, feature different parks. I've got one agent that I coach, and every time she's showing a house and she's in that kind of area or neighborhood, she'll say, I think she does it once a week. Today's featured neighborhood is Northside. And here's just a little bit about Northside. Northside is full of these kind of houses, and it has, you know, these kind of businesses. And right now there are 55 houses on the market in Northside. It's great for families, lots of, well, you want to steer clear of that, actually. You want to be careful with steering, but, you know, great sidewalks, great parks. I always see dogs running around, like whatever it is you could feature. She does that just as she's out showing houses. But you could feature a park or a development as well. Use your vendors, feature a vendor, do a testimonial for your roofing guy or your inspector or your lender. When you get testimonials from your clients, testimonials from your vendors, happy endings, give testimonials to other agents. I love doing that. When I've done a deal and the agent showed up in a great way, I will go to their Facebook page and say, hey, all of Liz's Facebook people, you need to know she's one of the best real estate agents I've ever worked with. Love, that doesn't take anything away from you. And it makes them feel like $1 million. Staffers, thank you. You can interview clients also. Just different ways to collect testimonials. Then, of course, if you're reading a book or you're going through CE, that's another opportunity to make people see that you're actually you're growth-oriented, growth-minded, without coming out and saying it. Okay? Down here are different ways. You can do videos, live or recorded. Now, Facebook puts the most weight on live videos. They last longest. They're seen by more people. They'll revive when people comment on them later. And it is how you connect with people. So I want you guys to imagine this. Imagine that you had never seen a video of me. Like, you've never seen me like this. You've never seen my Dance Party Friday, if you've seen that. You've never seen me in video. I never once turned on the video. On my Facebook page, all I have is the written word. Hey, real estate agents, you know, use random acts of kindness to help build relationships. Like, I'm just writing those words, right? That you've never seen me, or think of your favorite, like, go-to thought leader that you're following right now. Think if you've never seen Gary Vee, or you've never seen Brene Brown in a video. You've only ever read. How connected to that person would you be? And now think of what the power of video and the fact that you can see them and see, you know, how they move and what their, you know, facial characteristics are. And like, think about how much more connected we are with people through the power of video. That needs to happen for you in your business with your people. They will be more connected with you if they don't just see your written words on Facebook. They need to see you in action. And they're not as hard on you. They're not as hard on you as you are, as far as you saying in a video. Nobody cares. That's how you talk. That's how people talk. It's normal. It's okay. The less polished the video, the better it is. Polished video, people don't have any time for that. Why do you think reality TV is such an incredible phenomenon? Think about it. Reality TV, it's the behind the scenes of the Kardashians that we want to see. It's the behind the scenes of The Bachelorette. Like, it's how we get to know these people. It's not them walking down the red carpet all done up perfectly for the cameras. We're interested in the shit show going on behind the scenes, right? you need to show that part of you to your people. Show the vulnerable you, the not so perfect, the person that's working hard. That's where connection happens.
You know, okay, I just want to give a 2-second chime in that. Sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
there is this this mom I follow. She is a unique makeup. Unique is a company that, you know, an MLM, they sell makeup. And no joke, she is not the most attractive woman ever. And yet she's got that phone up to her doing her makeup. And you almost watch it just because you just can't believe it. You're just like, oh, you know, and she's consistent. And, you know, when I need mascara, I buy it from her.
I love it. She's consistent. She's real. She has imperfections. She's not perfect. We are so hard on ourselves, guys. And if you're not using video, and I remember starting, and guys, here, I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't start with live. I started with recorded, and I will freaking record that damn thing 10 or 15 times because I was like, oh, I don't like the way my face looks. I don't like the way I said that. Oh, God, my chin looks. It's brutal. And at one point I started like, I can't go on with this. I'm spending 3 hours doing one video. Like, I got to get going. And over time, and now I am 2 years later, I'm so used to it. I'll just pop this thing on right now and I don't care what's going on. I'll be like on the video going, oh, my hair is not looking so good. Like, whatever, right? I get just as many, if not more, connections from those videos than my ones that I felt like, oh yeah, I nailed it. I said everything I was going to say and I was standing right or whatever, right? No, you're missing connection opportunities because you care so much about something that nobody else cares about, by the way. Okay? That's a great story, Allie. I love that. I love that. Yes, Mike. There you go.
Do you have time for a quick video testimonial?
Yeah.
Okay. So I posted a video on my page. It was June 20th, I think is when it was posted. And all I did literally was I held up blank contract paperwork for my market. And I just went over, if you're going to buy a house, this is what you're going to expect. The purchase contract is 4 pages long. We have a property condition disclosure statement. It's 6 pages long. It's questions that we ask the seller generally: condition, roof, property lines. And then if it was built prior to 1978, we have a lead paint. So that's all I did. It was maybe 2 minutes long, and just short little quick videos live right here in my office that I can share, just, you know, little blurbs of information on, not making them too long or too complicated. And Friday, I get a call from an agent out of the area who was looking for an agent in my market, and lurked on my Facebook profile and saw that video. And she thought, oh, this guy is just giving useful, helpful information. Very simple. It's nothing, you know, stuff we just take for granted. And she said because of that, she wanted to refer her buyers to me. I picked up a buyer referral just by holding up paperwork and saying, this is what you can expect when you're going to put an offer in on a house.
Perfect. So yeah. Simple. And as you were even saying it, I was like, gosh, if I was a buyer that had never written a house, I'd be like, oh, good. It's just a 4-page contract. That sounds approachable. Like, as you were saying it, I was like, oh, that makes me feel better. I get it. Perfect. I love that. Guys, it doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't. And you, even if you've been in the business, who's been in the business less than a year? Anybody on here?
Me.
See Michelle. Even if you've been in the business less than a year, you know way more than you're giving yourself credit for, and you have access to way more information than you're even thinking about. And people love what we do, guys. They love our business. They long for those stories and that data and the interesting points, and you know, what can make a neighborhood thrive, what makes housing drop, like, and we need to become students of that. You might not know it right now, but do some reading, and now you've got a little, oh, I just read this article and here's what the article is talking about. I thought it was really interesting. If you want to talk about how that might apply to you, give me a call. Let's talk about it. You don't need to know all the answers. You need to know how to ask questions. That's it. That's it. Cinda, I love what you said. Don't measure your success on how many likes or comments. Yes, no, it's the consistency. I don't care how many people like or comment your stuff. I care that you haven't done it for a month, right? If I went to each of your pages and I need to go back more than 3 posts to see something where I was very clear that you're a real estate agent, you're failing in communicating and connecting. And so you can also post personally also in a day. You don't have to go one day real estate, the next day personal. It's just as it comes. But you should be posting something about real estate, helping somebody with some piece of data every day, because not everybody's even coming close to seeing it. They're not even coming close. I'll tell you when you guys are doing too much. Trust me. And it won't be ever.
Also, quick question. Should we time, like, stagger our posts, or could we just do them all at once?
Oh, this is on your personal page too, guys. This isn't on your business page, so you can't time them out. Is that what you mean? Like,
Yeah, because like, I mean, because if I'm in the zone, I can be like, okay, let me just pump out 7 posts all at once, done. But is it better to say, hey, let me set some time, morning, afternoon?
Yeah, it's better to do them each day, not all at once. You might brainstorm on what you're going to do for the week, and then maybe something comes up that you're like, oh, this would be a great post. I'll push that one I thought I was going to do till next Saturday or Monday.
But like the one, like all 7 for the day, you would say maybe do 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, not just all 7 at once per day.
Correct. I wouldn't. I'd try to space them out. If you are going to do 7 in a day, which is the Gary V way, but why don't you start with 2 a day? Like, that would be amazing. And 1 a day is a minimum, guys. 1 a day. But mix in your personal life too, because people need to know, oh, she's a mom, I relate to her. Oh, he's a dad, I relate to her. Oh, she's into tennis, I love tennis. Oh, she's a real estate agent and she's into tennis. I'm into tennis and I'm selling my house. Like, I'm using her. Oh, she goes horseback. She loves horses. I mean, like, people who love horses they're connected. I'm learning this. People who love dogs, animal rescue. If you're into animal rescue, post about that. Show that that's a passion of yours. Don't lecture people. Don't be politically like strange. Just come from love and show that you're interested in it. I have gotten more deals over 16 years because of my not only network of animal advocates, but just that people connect with me about that. They also, I mean, rescue people are crazy people, right? They really, if you know rescue people, you know we're crazy. Some crazier than others. But what do? You're into football. You got your favorite team. Like, great, post about that. Whatever it is you do, you run. Runners love other runners. Like, it, show who you are. Allow people to see you. And that way you'll be attracting. And here's what's going to make you uncomfortable. Repelling at the same time. You cannot attract without repelling. So we have to get comfortable with not all people are your people, and you don't need to do business with all people. You just need your tribe. You need your people, and there are plenty of people that will love what you're throwing down, and those that don't get it or they are repelled by it, it's fine. But when we exist in this safe zone, so I want you to picture a spectrum here. Actually, let me do this real quick. Whiteboard. So when, I want you to picture this spectrum here. There's this little safe zone here. It's the gray zone right in here. This is where we're safe and we don't offend anybody and nobody gets mad at us on Facebook, and we just kind of walk that very healthy line where our posts are very safe, nothing controversial. Then there's the crap that happens out here, and the people that do this, and I hope you're not one of them because it's annoying and Facebook has no space for it. I'm not talking just political, but I'm talking left and right, not just political, like extremism, I would call it there, right? And no influencing goes on there. And here's the thing, no influencing goes on in here either. You cannot influence people in the safe zone. You will not be heard. This is where you need to be, here and here. I'm not saying left or right again politically at all. I'm just saying, just outside of the safe zone, where you're actually standing up for what you believe in, or demonstrating who you are, or showing what you're passionate about, or going out of the box a little bit in real estate, or whatever that is. That's where you influence. But you have to be willing to repel people at the same time, and know that in order to influence, it's like a yin and a yang. Like, you have to. One doesn't work without. You can't just attract people and have everyone else be neutral. There are people that will see my Facebook post, and I'm sure they are like, she is so freaking annoying. Click. Right? And trust me, I'm a high and that hurts my feelings. And I want to go rescue all of those relationships. I want to be like, why don't you like me? But I can't have 100 people that love what I'm throwing down if I'm not willing to have one person that doesn't love it. That resonating with you guys? I can't have 100 people that love the real estate information that I give and make decisions based on that one person that thinks I shouldn't do it. If you guys are making decisions on one or two people that you're worried about what they'll say, then your whole path is being set by those people who don't really actually matter. They don't matter. They're not your people. You can't have everybody. There's no influence in trying to have everybody. You don't get that. To help? Cool. Questions?
Oh, just that thank you. I appreciate that. I think we need to hear that more often. I think for me, I'm deathly terrified of offending people. And yet I know I watch Hank, and sometimes I really love what he's about. Other times he drives me crazy.
Totally.
And yet I still watch him.
For sure. Now, here's one secret, guys. If you're going to do something a little bit like where you're making a stand for something, we can do it without lecturing people. We can do it without talking down about it. And if you'll watch go back and watch some of my videos, and you'll see that a lot of times what I'm doing is asking questions. So I'm making a point through questions. And I'll always also say, hey guys, this is something I'm battling with too. I'm never going to be like, you guys need to stop worrying about what other people think. Like that will push people away. But I might say, gosh, why do we worry so much about what people think? Is it this? Is it that? I know I've battled with this. So I can be really pointed in what I'm trying to get across. And I can even at the end of it say, here's what I think. If you care so much about what other people think, maybe it's time to spend a little time with your ego, because that's my ego is my worst friend, right? I mean, and it's the way you deliver it. We can still stand in our beliefs, but we can't lecture people. It doesn't feel good. Even if you're right, it doesn't feel good, right?
Thank you. That's a huge aha. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Awesome. Well, when you show your vulnerability as well, when you show like, guys, I don't have this one figured out, but here's what I have learned and here's what I'm working on, and I hope this helps you. Right? And one of the reasons you probably come back to Hank, even though he can drive you crazy, is because he is the first guy to say, I don't have it all figured out. Like, he will show how he has screwed up time and time again, and how he has learned from it. And then how he screws up, and then what he does to fix it, and then screw up again. And that keeps him real. But if all we're doing is lecturing people on how perfect our lives are, that is unrelatable. That is unrelatable. Say what you will about the Kardashians, but when you get to see the behind the scenes dysfunction and how the sisters fight and the mom did that, you're like, I can relate to that. But you can't relate to this like level of beauty and fame on the red carpet. The reason you can relate, they're masters at vulnerability with it's manufactured in some ways, but you're also getting to see that they're real. You guys, who you are, as real as you are, it's perfect. Your realness is perfect. It doesn't need corrected, doesn't need hidden, doesn't need polished. It just needs told. You have 36 people that will give you business this year because of who you are and that you show up helping people. You don't need to be anybody you're not. You're enough. You're perfect. Just get comfortable with that, right? It's an ongoing thing because our damn ego, man, that thing is powerful. I would be a murderer if I could. I would murder my ego. Get it out of the way. It's hard. It's hard. Anything else? Did this help? Shannon, were you going to say something, babe?
Yeah. Okay, so you may have gone over this, but I've got the baby here, so I get distracted. But is there a certain way that you keep track of the people you talk to? Like, do you have a little CRM tracker type system of trying to keep in front of them X amount of times per year?
Oh, yes, I do have, I used a wall CRM. So I just got a big, one of those big sticky Post-it note. It's like a Post-it note that's massive. It's like, you know what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's on the wall. So I'll just do, my 36 at the time, and then maybe 4 check marks next to it where I want to show up, not just in a 50-25 one way, but in a random act of kindness, or send them a card or a note or something. And I want to just make sure I'm doing that, especially with your past clients, guys. You can do a wall CRM with past clients and make sure that you're not going a year without talking to them. That's you losing a lot of money.
So is it more of just tally marks, or do you kind of write like sent note? Because I wonder sometimes, like, if I send stuff, I'm like, did I send them something like that already?
Then make a little note on it, like sent St. Patty's Day card, or sent candy for Easter, or whatever. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But I don't think anything formal, guys. I'm just not a huge fan of CRMs unless you're doing a real sophisticated approach to marketing. What we're doing is not sophisticated. That's why Facebook is a good enough CRM with those friends lists. And then, Shanna, to your point, I think, something in writing, whether it's a big Post-it note or it's a piece of paper that's taped to your desk, it just needs to be in front of you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be able to see Jim and Sally and Tom and Sarah, like, see them. So you're thinking about them. If you want to have one thing be all past clients' 1-year anniversary and their birthdays, and those are for sure 2 touches they get from you, then write those down and make sure, put them in your Google Calendar, or put them, in somewhere that you will look ahead. There's no right or wrong way. I just want to make sure you guys are purposefully ensuring that you're seeing and touching and engaging with people. This isn't manipulative. Somebody once said to me, well, if you're in a real relationship, you shouldn't have to plan it. Okay. If you can operate your life like that, right? I mean, I can screw up the most important relationships by missing a birthday or missing an opportunity. Not my intent, just life. So if something is important enough, what is the harm in putting a system around it? If my relationships and the way I make my A's and B's feel is important enough that I don't want to screw it up because life gets in the way, then a system is what works. And it's not cold or mechanical, it's caring and thoughtful. I'm not going to miss this. I'm not going to miss this opportunity. That's what you're doing by being on their Facebook pages all the time too, is I'm not going to miss anything. Alan, who's here on the call today, had a great example. He's just learning this 50-25-1 because he was calling expireds and FSBOs and wasn't really working his sphere in a sophisticated way. And he said, he'd made his list and he realized that one of his A's had all these life events. And even though they're A's, it wasn't showing up in his feed for whatever reason, and he had missed it. Am I telling anything off base there, Alan? Is that the right?
Can you hear me?
A little bit. You need to be a little louder.
Sorry, hold on 1 second. Is that better?
Yes, there you are. Did I tell the right story?
Sorry. Yeah, you did. Yeah, sorry. I was connected to my car, and sometimes it doesn't do well on.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, nope, that was right.
Yeah, so I mean, even as close as we think we are, we're missing stuff. All right, guys. So, what do you think you need help with, or you feel like you can go run with this for a little bit, and then do you want to maybe reconnect one more time for a Q&A? Like in a couple weeks, maybe give yourself a little time to sort of get in the flow and see where you're getting held up.
Yes, that would be great.
Oh, Michelle, okay, good. Carla did that. Let's see. Michelle's reading Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. Bleep. Yes, great book. All about determining what's important and what's not. Because if you guys, if you ask yourself about when you're about ready to do something, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? You'll get real clear on how important that yes is. Because yes feels good to our ego. Hey, Monica, would you be on this board? We really need you on this board. You really need me? Yeah, that makes me feel important. Yes, I will be on your board. What in the hell did I just do? I do not need to be on any board, right? But the ego was fed there. So if I say yes to that, what am I saying no to? I'm saying no likely to an extra hour that I could be dedicated to what I want in this life, what my goals are, what I'm striving for.
Yeah, I found that just the first few pages I was reading was just hitting me over the head because I'm somebody that people tell me to sit on my hands and stop raising my hands so much. I over volunteer and then get myself in trouble. And it was just like, what flowers do you water and what weeds do you pull, or where do you put your energy that really is the place to put your energy, and stop putting your energy in places that just don't have any meaning or payoff for you.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's just the language that we're lacking, the ability to say no. So I'm going to give you one of my favorite phrases, which was given to me by Peter Chabris. I'll give full credit. I was asking him, he was a guy that I knew was very purposeful with his time. This was a couple years ago, and I was really working on that. So I called him and I said, tell me the top 2 things as an agent that you do that have given you the most freedom from time, or protecting your time. And his first one was setting expectations with his clients, basically that I'm available from, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. by phone. If you call after that, I will call you by noon the next day, basically. The only exception to that is if we're working on a deal, I'll be available, till we get the deal done from the highest mountain, but setting those expectations. And then other than that, he gave me this language, which was, I'm fully committed. So Monica, can you show us houses on Friday night at 6:00? And I wanted to go out to dinner with friends at 6:00 on Friday. So I say, oh my gosh, Mike, I'm so sorry. I'm fully committed on Friday night. How about Saturday morning? How about Monday night? That language, to me, now I don't have to lie. I am fully committed to going and see my friends. I'm fully committed to sitting my ass on the couch all day because that's what I wanted to do. Like, I'm fully committed. And I don't have to lie. Oh, I'm fully committed at that time. Would Monday work? We have to learn to stop saying yes just because somebody asks us to do something. And then the other one, I'll just tell you, the other one he did give me that was really good. I started using it was in the inspection settlement period. I don't know if all of you have that, where you have that period of time where you can go back and forth on the negotiations. He makes that weekdays. So we have 5 weekdays for settlement period. That way, we're in contract. There's, it's fine. We don't need to be going back and forth on a Sunday for something we can handle on a Monday. Does that mean every time you'll do that? No, but it gives you the ability to have 5 weekdays or whatever. And I just really liked that, how he was kind of protecting his weekends with his family. But you also just getting used to saying no and what that sounds like. Like, hey, Cinda, I'd love nothing more than to join you at that. Thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to say no just because I have overextended myself in some other areas. And so to protect you and me, I'm going to say no, but I can't tell you how much that really means to me that you asked. Like, we just got to get that language as comfortable. Once you have that, you'll say no a lot easier. Sometimes we say yes because we don't know what to say. You relate that? Yeah, fully committed. It's my favorite saying. Fully committed. All right. Well, in the meantime, if you guys have anything you need, feel free to reach out and ask me. I will help you in any way. If you want to get engaged at a different level, I do have a group coaching call that I offer that we focus on just this stuff. and you get an email from me every day, and you get the Facebook post ideas. I'm not selling anything to you guys. I do not care if you join it. I'm super interested in just helping you the way I've been helping you, and I'm happy to give you a little bit more of my time just to make sure you get this. I want this to feel natural for you and something that you can run with. But there is more. If you're interested, just reach out and I'll send you a link, or you can go to my website. It's called Win the Day is what it is. And there's a sample email that you get Monday through Friday on that Win the Day. You'll see it on my page. But again, that I'm, whether you want to participate in that or not, I'm just happy that you're here and wanting to do business like this, and I want to help you.
Hey, Monica, what's the best way to reach out to you?
Facebook, private message.
Got it.
Yep. All right, guys, get out there. Go make some people's days today. And have some fun with it, all right?
Thanks, Monica.
All right, guys. See ya.